Hello, I'm Chris.
And I'm Cherie.
And we're in the Bahamas. We just cruised over here, and why not? Not.
Maybe one day.
Yeah.
Why not has been to the Bahamas before, just not by us. And one day we'll hopefully have the skills and time to do it after we complete the loop.
No, but even cruisers enjoy vacation and going on a cruise, and that's
Nomads.
Nomads.
And
Yes.
cruisers.
And
our
cruisers,
viewers.
yes. So we are actually just wrapping up a vacation through the, I guess it was technically a Southern Caribbean cruise.
Yes, we are on the Holland American Koningsdam. It's their newest ship in the fleet.
It's a damn ship.
And this was an 11-day cruise. We went to, let's see, St. Lucia, Barbados,
So it started
Martinique.
St. Martin, St. Lucia, Barbados, Martinique, Antigua, St. Thomas, Antigua and St. Thomas. Then St. Thomas, the U.S. Virgin Islands, and we went across over to St. John, where we used to live. And then now we're here at the private island of Holland America in the Bahamas, and then we'll be back in Fort Lauderdale.
So yeah, it's been great. A lot of people say, well, aren't you always on vacation when you're a nomad? You know, we've been traveling full time, coming up on 12 years for him. And, you know, when you're a nomad and you're traveling full time, it's not necessarily a full-time vacation because, well, number one, we work full-time.
And number two, there's nobody who's making you breakfast, lunch, and dinner and then performing entertaining shows in the evening every day other than our cat.
So we have taken vacations taking breaks from our normal travel style, which is usually by RV or our own boat. And we've done, cruises are a popular one for us. Number one, they're great to do with family. So we're on this with my mother. She loves to cruise, and we've learned to love to cruise with her. Not that we don't love Mom, we love you. We love cruising. We've learned to really enjoy cruising as a break from our nomadic lifestyle.
Cruising is really great because you can do different things during the day, but you'll come together for that always that dinner in the evening, and it's really great to bond and still have independence and a lot of closeness. Yeah,
have a shared experience.
Yeah.
We particularly like cruising because you know, our daily life, unlike when you're in a stationary life, you're not necessarily every single day dealing with the logistics of travel, like planning an itinerary, dealing with repositioning and driving days and engine maintenance and all that sort of stuff.
They actually frown on you trying to do engine maintenance on the cruise ship. Yeah, they'll kick you out.
So it's kind of nice that with cruising we're still traveling, and sure, we're not visiting these places for the weeks at a time that we would prefer.
You get the tiny little taste.
It's more of a survey, but we're still traveling, we're still in motion, we're still seeing new places, but we're not dealing with the planning, we're not dealing with the routing, the constantly keeping aware of the weather, the engine maintenance, and of course it's always nice to have food.
Actually no, we do have quite a bit of planning to figure out. It's like, okay, when is the happy hour and when is the show and which place do we want to do for dinner? I mean, sometimes we spend hours going over the plan for the day and route between the happy hours. It gets complicated.
It's a tough life. But it is nice, and it's an affordable way to travel. This particular cruise, we've got a nice balcony suite. I think we got it for
It's not a suite.
Well,
it's a sweet balcony, but it's not a suite.
Yes, it's just a regular room with a balcony,
tiny balcony,
veranda they call it. But it's less than $100 per day each, and way less actually. I think.
Yeah,
we got this one for like $1,800, including ports, gratuities, and everything. And that includes all your entertainment, your food. It does not include your beverages, so it's a really affordable way to travel and kind of take a break. So it's a good blending. We do other sorts of vacations. We've done like taking train trips across country. We've you know, visiting family by other methods. But for us, the blending between vacation and real life is kind of
we like to mix it up, and unfortunately the downside of that is we mix up our vacations by working during them. So we've actually been doing a lot of work during this particular trip we're getting the 2018 edition of this book done. We've been turning it into a complete rewrite in a whole new kind of format and stuff.
So yeah, if you don't know, this is our personal channel. This is kind of fun and after hours. But our work life is tracking mobile internet for travelers. And what better way to get a bunch of international experience than on a cruise where you're visiting a bunch of different countries.
Yes.
So we've been testing international data options while we're out here on the cruise. And we also use this as a writing retreat because sometimes you have to get offline to get away from the distractions of the online world to actually focus.
Right, so yeah, if no Facebook can beep at you and no news alerts and no nothing for hours on end, we actually get a whole lot done. So this has actually been a really effective writing retreat. We've had some vacation time, some research time, and just relaxation time. So we just can't help but blend everything together, it seems.
So yeah, the sea days out here, we've had 3 sea days plus this stop at their private island, which we've been to many times before, so we're just treating this as a sea day, been our work days. So we'll work maybe up until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. That's when happy hour starts. And then we'll shift into more vacation mode.
Yeah, and then actually, because I like to work overnight, I've done because the ship is pretty much dead after midnight, and I've gone and found a quiet place, and the other day I was actually writing until after 4 in the morning. So taking advantage of those late night quiet chill times have been wonderful too.
So yeah, it's great. Cruises are a great way if you don't need, because there's satellite internet on the ship, but it is kind of pricey. Like 100 minutes for $55, and it's on this particular ship. It's really slow. And
yeah, we heard somebody report that it took them all of 11 minutes to read one email. So
to
yeah,
download a single email. So we could get online if we wanted to, but we've just been getting our online time when we're in our ports and testing our international roaming options on AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon, as well as we brought along a Skyrim, which, by the way, didn't work so well this time.
Skyrim was a disaster, but that's why we're testing it. Yeah.
So we get our online time then, check in with our assistants, make sure there's no big breaking stories we need to cover, get any research notes we need from our own research in the past.
Yeah, we do actually have the InReach satellite communicator, so we've been able to get any urgent alerts and or just to share tracking and stuff online. So that's been kind of always our emergency backup connection.
But yeah, so we've done some shore excursions. We got out and explored. We rode horses in St. Lucia on the beach. That's tons of fun.
We did a kayaking and snorkeling combo trip in Antigua.
And then we went and visited one of the Concords in Barbados. I did not know that Barbados was one of the 4 scheduled stops.
Yeah, and is the place where they've now got one set up as a museum that you can go tour, and they've got a whole Concorde experience. You actually get to go in and sit in the Concorde seats, which are pretty darn comfy, and experience a little bit of a Concorde. And as aviation geek, I thought that was pretty cool.
It was really cool.
And so she was squeeing everywhere as well.
Well, I actually saw one of the Concords in Duxford when I was a kid in England.
I've seen it land and take off.
So yeah, it was really cool. It was really awesome because it was pinnacle of aviation technology and just amazing tech. And then when we got to St. Thomas, of course, St. Thomas, St. Martin, and Puerto Rico and some of the other islands that we visited were heavily impacted by Irma and Maria earlier last year. And seeing the devastation firsthand, it flashes back to our time in Marathon, and as well, we have a special connection with the U.S. Virgin Islands because in 2010, 2011, we actually moved over to St. John. I think we lived there for about 5 months. And it was heartbreaking.
And this was our first time back to St. John since we left, and it was so different. It wasn't as bad as I feared from the pictures I'd seen right after the storm, but it was still a lot of devastation. They've bounced back really well. I was frustrated with the tour we took to get over there. It didn't leave us enough time to
do a lot of shopping.
Yes,
I really wanted to support. I had a whole list of things that we loved over on St. John, local products and things like that we wanted to try and go to support.
Yes, our tour was supposed to have shopping opportunities, and usually they kind of thrust the shopping opportunities on you, and it was like, really, can we stop shopping now? And this was, you got 15 minutes.
Like, oh my gosh, and we had
we literally ran to opposite sides of downtown.
You go take care of that, and one thing I wanted to do is the Caribbean Love Bracelet, so that it's a hook clasp. It's really popular in the USVI and throughout the Caribbean, and it's one thing I regretted that I didn't get when we lived on St. John, so I went and found a local vendor of them on St. John and got myself a present because I wanted one.
Yes, and
I don't buy jewelry very often.
And we quickly ran to the St. John Tap Room, the only microbrewery in the Caribbean, at least it was way back when, and grabbed a 6-pack of their homemade energy drink, and just got a tiny taste of what our St. John experience was like, but it was really good to get to see the island, to see how well it's bounced back. So
really are, especially the tourist areas. But we, having been to St. John, we know what it looked like before, and we could see the differences and see what were the really hard hit areas.
Yes.
And they've done an incredible job bouncing back, and the general attitude of everyone we interacted with was of hope.
Yep.
And we're getting through this as a
community.
We got this, yes. So that was really good to see. But still, the devastation is real, and only 60% of the homes on St. Thomas and St. John have had power restored. And
Yes.
this is 4 months later from
Yes.
the time the Irma hit anyway. So yeah, there's still a lot of recovery going on. And of course, Puerto Rico is still wreaking havoc over it all. So
yes, still they're in desperate need.
Saint Martin was also it was heartbreaking.
Yeah, so we did what we could ashore to try and support the local economies, and your mom certainly did do jewelry shopping.
My mother, like me, buys a lot of jewelry, so she she supported the local economies really well. So anyway, tomorrow we're back in Fort Lauderdale. Well, by the time you view this, we'll already be back because we have no internet to upload this from here, hopefully we'll have the manuscript done to the 2000, or we're calling it the 5th edition, but the 2018 updated edition. Be turning it over to our editor, and hopefully by end of month we'll have this available.
New book.
You can get more information on that at mobileinternetinfo.com/book. That's where it'll be announced, and we do have an email list that you can sign up for to get be notified if you're tracking our mobile internet info stored and stuff.
And then we're gearing up. Why not? We're basically getting it put in storage, and we're gearing up for our big RV trip to Texas. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, by the end of the month, we should be back in the RV for probably somewhere between 6 and 8 weeks, going out to Texas, and that's where the RV will be stored for later in 2018 when we return in the winter. Because the general plan is RVing in winters and boating in springs and summers.
So looking forward to an RV trip. It's going to be fun.
It will be. So
cool.
Hope you guys are staying warm wherever you are. Apparently it got pretty cold while we were gone. I don't know. We didn't really...
There's a cold front, something, Arctic blast, something storm, blah, blah, blah. We're in the Caribbean.
All right, guys.
Take
See
care.
y'all later.